Hello, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of Mondays Are for the Nerds. I'm your co-host, Jay Wright.
And I'm your other co-host, Tristan Stump.
And thank you for joining us on another week as we recap this past week's nerdy news for you. How you been?
Been doing okay. How about you?
Pretty good. Working, practice, and that's about it. I haven't had much free time for anything until this weekend.
I
And even then, it's
inadvertently,
just not a lot.
I inadvertently had some free time because I was unwell on earlier in the week.
Mm-hmm.
So I played some more Breath of Fire. I think I talked about that last week. A good old RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I talked about really explained it all that well, but I can't remember the whole lore explanation. But humans in this world, like some are capable of turning into dragons, so they're like a different kind of human. But because of how much people like covet and fear that power, they kind of went, okay, we're just gonna seal that power away, and we're gonna make it to our own, even to our own people. We're gonna make it like it's a myth that we can even turn into dragons. But
Yeah.
a couple siblings who are like even more in tune with magic will know the truth.
Yeah.
Well, the dark side of those people, the dark dragons who have like dark dragon powers, are wanting to use these powers for evil to summon a goddess who says she will grant a wish when summoned, and she's just sitting back like, ooh, yes, fight over me.
Yeah.
War, I love it. And so, you know, as most Greek-inspired gods are wont to do. And so, anyway, so the dark dragons kidnap this girl. Her brother, who has the ability to turn into a dragon, sets out to save her and stop the dark dragons from taking over the world with the goddess's power and all that. And it's what's interesting about it is there's a lot of things I did not expect from a Super Nintendo RPG. Like there's some pretty good, I would say, like they take the modern step.
Yeah.
And on the Super Nintendo. But this one, for one, there's not a whole lot of fantasy JRPGs where there is a diversity in the main cast, in that like, oh, this fantasy RPG and in this fantasy world, you know, there's cat people and dog people and orcs and goblins, and then your party ends up being maybe one cat person and then the rest humans. Whereas this time it's like you have your human, basically. It's kind of like Metaphor. It does the same thing. It's kind of like why I'm like Metaphor a lot. You have a bird girl that joins you. I just got a wolf man who is an archer. I know you get a plant person at some point, and an ox, and like just different people actually join your party to make this world feel like a fantasy world. And another cool thing that I did not expect is you change the leader of the party, and when you're in the overworld, they do different things. So the wolfman can hunt animals, and so you can get meat, and you can use meat to heal.
And get various different items you'll need.
Yeah, and
based on who you are.
The ox can break down walls, and I think it's the thief lets you unlock doors and disable traps. And different things where it's like it's just really cool where you have to think,
strategically plan who you're going to use to get what.
Yeah, because fights are already going to be strategic. Like, who do I want in a fight? But now you're like, who do I want in front, because I don't know what I'm about to run into.
Yeah.
Anyway, it is pretty cool.
Sounds
so
awesome.
I've been playing that. And after that, I'll probably be moving on to all the Final Fantasies, or the first six, because I got I got like the Pixel collection of the first 6 games. So I'll probably be playing through those, so you'll be hearing my no doubt frustrations, because they are slight improvements on the original. And I don't know if you remember, but I did have the original Final Fantasy on the classic, because I named the main characters after Yumi, Trent, and Hayden.
Yeah.
And so I think it ended up being Stum, Trin, Jay, and Mia, because I couldn't like Hayden, because Hayden would have been Hedda, and I'm like, I'll just do Mia.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And I'm the only one that gets the full name.
Yeah, you're the one that gets full name because, you just had to have the short name.
Jaso.
Yeah, Jaso. Actually, no, it would have just been Jace, because you can only fit 4 letters.
4 letters?
Yeah.
Yeah, Jaso.
Oh, yeah.
Did you think my name was actually
No, I think you were going Jay.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like,
S-O.
What? No,
J-
Jaso. That makes Jaso. No, Jaso sounds like a Star Wars character.
It absolutely does. It does.
But no, other than that, work. I spoiler alert for something Jay's about to talk about in a small talk. I did not get to see Minecraft. If we want to segue into your small
I was wondering
talk.
if you were going to see it.
I didn't get to go see it because of how busy my weekend was. So when Sunday finally came around, I was just like, no.
You're like, I don't want to go anywhere. I went to see it Sunday night. It has been sold out here. I talked to them last night. She said every day it's been sold out except for Wednesday and Thursday, and even then it was almost sold out.
That's
and so it's
not surprising.
No, and it sold out last night before we got there at 6:30.
I didn't get into Minecraft until after high school, partly because I do have this thing about me of, well, everyone's playing it, so I'm not playing it. But also I looked at it and I'm like, this does not look like it.
Yeah.
It interests me in any way. And then I played it and I'm like, you know what? If I play in peaceful mode, Minecraft is great.
Oh,
for
dude.
me. I don't care.
Creative mode? That's all I play
on. Yeah. I'll do peaceful survival mode. So like I'll turn on enemies when I need certain gear, and then I'll just shut it back off and be like, okay, back to mining and building my house.
That's all I have. That's all I need.
The amount of people I graduated with that play Minecraft, Minecraft is just now a multi-generational thing.
Oh yeah.
Which is weird to think about because I remember when it first was it came out in 2008.
8?
I think the first version came out in 2008.
Wow.
I let me fact checked myself. I can't talk.
You just
today.
combined all three of those.
Okay, May 17th, 2009.
9.
So it would have been the summer after 4th grade. So I remember starting the 5th grade for me because Jay's in a year younger than me. I remember starting the 5th grade and everyone's wearing creeper shirts. And
I remember the
like
big
talking
hit.
about it. I'm like, what is this weird the green thing from like Minecraft? They're explaining the game.
It's a cactus.
They're explaining the game, and here's me, 10-year-old Stumpy played 3 games. It was Paper Mario 1000 Year Door, Super Mario Sunshine, and Piglet's Big Adventure on the GameCube. I'm kidding. There was a little bit of variety because I had a DS at that point, but like, I didn't have the computer I had to play games on was my dad's Mac, and I don't know if you know anything about how many games you can play on Mac now, but it's even less so in 2009. And so I was like, that sounds dumb. I'm going to go back and play Piglet's Big Adventure. And then off I would go as the Silent Hill sounds play while I'm running from heffalumps and woozles. And everyone is, living their best life
on
building
Minecraft.
blocks.
As long as you make it out of blocks. No, the amount of kids I heard even all last week, especially the last half, and then all this week, just talking about Chicken Jockey. And I had a kid that I had in class Friday come up to me Tuesday and go, it was in a different class. And he saw me. He's like, hey, remember me? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, here's a picture of us. We went to see Minecraft last night. And I was like, nice. And they were dressed up in like Diamond Gear costumes. And I'm like, wow. We went to see it Sunday night. It was sold out, so packed. And when I say that critic-wise, 4 out of 10.
Okay.
Maybe a 5.
As you gave me a 5 the other day.
5. 4 or 5. It's all right. You're going to have a good time. But very much event-wise, like I said in the chat, it's bigger than in-game.
I've had some
as far as crowd reactions, you've probably seen some.
Yeah. The thing that makes me sad is it'll probably be Monday before I see it, and I'm hoping there's still a good enough crowd so I can have that experience.
There probably will be. Probably will be, dude.
Because I'm like, I'm working all weekend, and so I'm like, I have to wait until Monday to see it.
Yeah.
I have to wait 2 weeks to see this movie.
At this rate, which we'll get into something else later, but you probably have a good sized crowd.
But I do have, if you do not mind me saying
But no, the event of it was just amazing. So fun to watch.
Yeah.
Like I said, watch it with a big crowd, as big of a crowd as you can, because you're going to have a good time.
I do have a reaction from some friends who went and saw it. They said it was an 8 out of 10. And that Jennifer Coolidge was hilarious for no reason.
Oh, the best part. Yeah, for literally no reason.
A very quotable movie, they said.
Absolutely.
And then I do have one quote, if you do not mind mild spoilers. It's in the trailer. So like,
if it's in the trailer, I don't
this
consider
quote
it a
is not
spoiler.
in the trailer, but the thing the quote is referencing is in the trailer. So anyway, this was the funniest line in the movie, according to my friend, is people usually sue me when I run into them with my Jeep Grand Cherokee.
It's Jennifer Coolidge says it. Oh, I laughed when that as a Jeep owner, 1, and B, just having totaled 2 cars, one of which was a Jeep. Oh, dude. The amount of times I was like belly laughing with this movie. It is so fun. But Jennifer Coolidge is, and the whole villager side story, the best part of the entire movie. It's so funny. It's one of those things where like you take it out of the story and it's still the story.
Yeah.
It's completely unnecessary, and I told this to Trey. It's complete. A lot of this movie is so unnecessary, but in a way that it becomes necessary.
Yeah, well, aren't the writers of this movie also like, what else did they do?
I know the director did Napoleon Dynamite.
Yeah,
and
they
Nacho
directed
Libre.
Napoleon Dynamite, Nacho
Jared
Libre.
Hess.
They are if they directed those two movies, which is also filled with just unnecessary,
Absolutely.
unnecessary side
But
jokes
it makes
and
it
stuff.
a cult classic.
Yeah, exactly. So even if this movie's not, like I said, I haven't watched it yet,
Yeah.
but the way it sounds, I am even more confident in this is Masters of Disguise level of.
Absolutely.
Critically, the movie might be bad, but as
absolutely.
as a movie and as a cult,
You want to have a
classic,
good time?
as a quotable good time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be, it's
Absolutely.
like an 8 out of 10 is
Yeah.
what I've heard, like 8, solid 8.
Oh, absolutely. It is. If you want to have a good time, I keep coming back to this. Go see the Minecraft movie. If you want to see a critically loved movie, I might pick something else.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But if you want to have a good time and go see Minecraft, that is about all I did apart from last night and just now.
Chicken Jockey.
Chicken Jockey. There's so many lines I want to tell you, but it's kind of like alludes to something else that happens.
Do you know what I thought
stuff?
of the other day? Speaking of like quotable movie lines,
What?
you can probe us at our home. You can probe us in the
truck stop
bathroom.
What was the? I know you said like A, but what was the other big one that we laughed at?
I can't remember what,
Oh
because
my
he just kept
goodness.
listing them from the Looney Tunes movie.
Ugh.
The Day the Earth Blew Up. There's a really funny line that Daffy has where he's like, "You'll never get the information out of us. You can probe us all
Talking
you
to
want."
the
And
alien.
he lists all these different places that the alien could potentially probe them.
And like the first three are like okay.
Okay, and then it just keeps getting more
Random?
to the point where Porky's like, "Shut up," and that's like their big breakup moment. It's so funny.
You probe us in a truck stop bathroom. Oh my goodness. Oh, should I get into releases this
Yes.
in lieu of Minecraft and Looney Tunes? All right, in theaters on Friday, April 11th, the amateur hit. Charlie Heller is a brilliant CIA decoder whose world comes crashing down when his wife dies in a London terrorist attack. When his supervisors refuse to take action, his intelligence becomes the ultimate weapon as he embarks on a dangerous trek across the globe to track down those responsible. I did take my mom to see it last night. Her and Jackson really wanted to see it, and she liked it. I can see why some people might call this boring. I don't know if they are or not, because it is not action-focused, because he is not an action guy.
Mm-hmm.
He uses his brain.
Yeah.
But the action scenes we do get are pretty good. Drop for the second episode in a row. Violet is a widowed mother who goes to an upscale restaurant to meet Henry, her charming and handsome date. However, her pleasant evening soon turns into a living nightmare when she receives phone messages from a mysterious, hooded figure who threatens to kill her young son and sister unless she kills Henry. I will be seeing this tonight, so you'll probably get my reactions on it next week. Did you know Olivia from Smosh, this happened to her, or inspired it?
I'm sorry.
Drop. Apparently, her and Sam were like on a date one time, and someone airdropped her Shrek memes the whole time, and that led to like her giving this idea for a movie, and then someone like wrote it. Sam's a producer.
Well, yeah.
On it. Yeah, like the whole Smosh went to like the red carpet. I saw
Talk about
Instagram
like
pictures.
a small world.
I know. I was scrolling through Instagram and I saw her like driving by with a billboard, and it's like, when you airdropped Shrek memes and now it's a horror movie. And I was like, what? Olivia? What? Warfare for the second episode in a row. A surveillance mission goes wrong for a platoon of American Navy SEALs in insurgent territory in Iraq. I did just get out of that. It's really good. It's also very quick and to the point, and there's no score. Really good. The King of Kings got a limited release, but renowned writer Charles Dickens shared a story of Jesus Christ with his son Walter. As his father narrates the stirring tale, Walter becomes captivated with the events of Jesus' life. Zero got a limited release. Zero follows two American tourists in Dakar who wake up with a bomb vest on. They are also wearing an earpiece that their hijacker uses to talk to them and give them specific missions. They are promised freedom if they complete all their missions before their countdown of 10 hours is over. And Sacramento got a limited release following the death of his father. Energetic and free-spirited Ricky, played by Michael Angarano, convinces longtime friend Glenn, played by Michael Cera, to go on an impromptu road trip from Los Angeles to Sacramento, which I believe Michael Cera directed this. Monday, April 7th, Not Just a Goof, for the third episode in a row, released on Disney+, exploring the untold story of a Goofy movie, following a young creative team tackling their first Disney feature, its initial disappointment, and its surprising resurgence decades later. Were you able to watch this?
I have watched most of it, or not most of it. I've watched a good chunk of the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
The last thing I remember them talking about, the emotional, like trying to get the emotion out of Goofy. Once they got the okay for Bill Farmer to be Goofy, because they did tell that story that we had told on here before, the Steve Martin story. Once they got the okay for Bill to be Goofy, then they were like, okay, well, now that because what they had to do apparently to prove, hey, before we jump the gun and hire some random celebrity, let's have Bill just record the whole movie in his voice. And then I don't want to say anything else in the documentary, so you can go watch it yourself.
Yeah.
But they're like, record the whole movie in your voice. And apparently, like, Bill Farmer was like, I was up all night.
It worked. Yeah.
He was like, I was up all night. This, like, freaked me out. Or do they not want why do they not want Goofy to sound like Goofy? Like, he's like, I've been Goofy this whole time. Why don't they? And then he recorded the whole movie in just his normal speaking voice, and they showed it to I can't remember his name, but the guy that was making the executive that was making all these decisions, and was like, yeah, no, you're right. Normal voice Goofy is weird. Just go back to the new Goofy voice, because he was like, it seems too goofy. That voice can't sell a movie.
Okay, so I thought you were saying they like wanted him to do Goofy voice but emotional. And then I realized you said he just didn't do his Goofy voice.
He just did his regular voice with the emotions, and he was like, no, you're right, it does need the Goofy voice. But then when they went back to re-record the movie in the Goofy voice again, they were like, well, we've actually learned some things from that, because we can put a little more emotional weight into certain scenes. And the scene they give the example is the Hi Dad Soup, where he... I
haven't seen it.
You've never seen a Goofy movie?
I need to watch it, yeah.
Okay, that's your homework for next... is watching a Goofy movie.
Listen, Monday night, you'll go see Minecraft. I'll watch a Goofy movie.
There's a scene where they have a heart-to-heart about where Goofy reminisces when Max is younger about Max using the leftover letters in soup to spell him things like "Hi, Dad." Yeah. It's a really, really sweet scene, and Goofy's delivery in that, like Bill Farmer's delivery as Goofy in that, is really, really great.
Yeah,
his delivery in the whole movie is just fantastic. But there's two standout scenes. It's that one, and it's the scene where they're on top of the car. That being said, what I've watched, very good documentary, very insightful. There's actually, they use behind the scenes footage that was recorded when they made the movie and never released to the public. So there's stuff in there that's never been seen by the public before, which is really, really cool. So it's also, on top of being a documentary about the movie's success, and it's also it is allowed to be a much more of a in-depth documentary about its creation, because not only are they talking to people who worked on it 30 years ago, they're getting the people who were working on it 30 years ago as they were working on it.
Yeah.
Which is really cool to see. It feels, I'm not going to rate it, because it feels weird to rate a documentary. Does that make sense?
I haven't finished it,
and I haven't finished it, but
no, that makes sense. That makes sense, because I feel like if you're gonna rate documentaries, you have to rate documentaries amongst each other.
You have to, if you're gonna rate a documentary, it's either that was good, that I feel like I learned something, or that was kind of a mess. Like I feel like it's like either that or it's one or the other. Like there's no kind of in between.
Yeah. On Thursday, April 10th, G20 for the second episode in a row hit Amazon Prime. Terrorists take over the G20 summit with President Sutton, bringing her governing and military experience to defend her family, company, and the world. And TV, on Sunday, April 6th, The White Lotus held its Season 3 finale on HBO. Tuesday, April 8th, saw the Season 6 premiere of The Handmaid's Tale on Hulu, and Season 7 premiere of Game Changer on Dropout. Have you seen it?
I have not seen the premiere yet.
It is so good. It is so funny. I told Hayden it's got the second best lineup, Jacob, Lou, and Vic. Thursday, April 10th, Hacks Season 4 premiere on Max. Black Mirror Season 7 for the second episode in a row released on Netflix. And on Friday, April 11th, Your Friends and Neighbors had its series premiere on Apple TV+. That is all my releases for this week.
We've got some releases for this week. On April 7th, we had Inspector Schmidt, The Ebbing, on PC from Active Fungus Studios. In this detective RPG, you untangle a thick web of intrigues, lies, and secrets that surround a mysterious death. Find the origin of an eerie telegraph signals, question the villagers, and discover the strange symbols that are suddenly appearing all over town, and hide from the danger lurking in the moor. Lila on PC from Ubik Studios. Lila is a heartfelt hand-animated narrative game about the small yet significant struggles we all face. Solve story-driven puzzles, relive fragile memories, and discover a deeply personal journey that may feel more familiar than you expect. And Peppered, an existential platformer on PC from Mostly Games. An existential platformer where doomsday is just around the corner. Save the world or become an eternal corporate slave to the god of death. Choices matter, or do they? Goof around and find out.
Wait, what is this?
Peppered, an existential platformer.
I want to play that.
On April 8th, we got Locomoto on PC from Green Tile Digital. Locomoto is a cozy life sim adventure game set on a train where you are a conductor. Customize and manage your train while tending to your colorful passengers. Get on board and embark on a journey through beautiful landscapes accompanied by a soft lo-fi soundtrack. As well as South of Midnight on Xbox and PC from devs Compulsion Games and publisher Xbox. South of Midnight is a new action-adventure from Compulsion Games. Explore the mythos and confront mysterious adventures of the Deep South in this modern folktale while learning to weave an ancient power to surmount obstacles and unravel your family's hidden past. I have been very excited for this. Unfortunately, I do not have a computer strong enough or an Xbox to play it. So maybe someday it'll get put on PS5 or Switch 2. Actually, as powerful as the Switch 2 seems to be, because it's not in my news, but there's been some more reports of people being like, third-party companies are very happy with Nintendo for how they built the Switch 2 because they can actually, their games they're making for PS5, they will not have to make too many, PS5, Xbox, whatever. They won't have to make too many sacrifices to get it on the Switch 2 like they did with the Switch 1, which is extremely good. So maybe South of Midnight...
It also widens up your audience.
Exactly, because that's what Switch 2 did the first time. Or Switch 1 did the first time, I mean. It at the time when it came out, it was just powerful enough, like it got Witcher 3 and stuff on there, so it widened the audience a little bit, and then it very quickly fell behind.
Yeah.
So apparently the Switch 2 is Nintendo going, okay, we need this to be on top of it, so when it's old, it can still be on top of it a little bit. I saw some like price drama aside. This is a very promising console.
Yeah.
Game prices are just...
Absolutely.
But we don't have to discuss that here because that wasn't in my news. I just wanted to bring that up.
Yeah.
Because South of Midnight was a good way for me to make that an aside. Hopefully South of Midnight to make it on Switch too, because Xbox loves putting their games on Nintendo if they can. They've got a very good...
And now PlayStation.
Yeah. Well, they're doing this whole thing where everything is an Xbox because they're trying... I predict next generation, they're not even going to have an Xbox console. If I'm going to make a bold prediction, I could see them announcing that their next Xbox is just like Steam, where it's an operating system you can get for your computer or something, or it's like, then your computer's an Xbox. Which is, Windows is kind of already like that because you have the Microsoft Game Store and the Xbox Game Pass and stuff built into your PC. So or to Windows, not your PC. But anyway, very excited for South of Midnight. I showed my mom that trailer and she's like, I wish that was a movie, because she wants to. She liked the trailer enough. She's like, man, if only that was a movie, because she knows if I get it, she's not going to sit there and watch me play it, and she's not much of a gamer beyond certain things that she likes to play.
Yeah.
So yeah, on April 9th, we got All in Abyss, Judge the Fake on PlayStation, Switch, and a PC from Acquire Group and WWS Playground and publisher Alliance Arts. Either I die or the witches perish. I challenge thee to a death match. Ashua, a self-proclaimed gambling prodigy, I cannot talk today, challenges the witch ruling the gambling district. Poised to win, she is defeated by mysterious power. An adventure of gambling, exposing frauds, and earning fortunes through poker. So it is a visual novel, like an anime visual novel, where you also play poker and take down witches.
Bro. Bro, what?
I'm just surprised the name is as short as it is.
True.
Because I think it might be based on an anime. I'm not for sure. I know there's an anime about poker, but I can't remember if it has witches in it. Commando's Origins on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox from devs Claymore Games Studios and publisher Calypso Media. Alarm! You've been selected for a mission which will shape the fate of the entire world. Witness the very beginning of the legendary elite World War II force in Commando's Origins. The long-awaited sequel to the Commando series brings you right back to the foundation of the real-time tactics genre. And you also got... Was it the pause?
I don't know if it's that or the way they worded it.
We also got... also, if you hear stuff in the background, it's because my house is currently a construction zone. Gudonia 2 entered early access on PC from Kazakov Oleg. Gudonia 2 is an online co-op RPG which allows up to 4 players to freely explore living open world and build absolutely unique characters. An expanded and improved sequel for RPG Gudonia. Into the Dead, Our Darkest Days entered early access on PC from Pick, and Boltree Games. Texas 1980. Walton City has fallen to a zombie outbreak. Lead a band of desperate survivors from refuge to refuge by scavenging, crafting, and fighting in a relentless struggle for survival. Plan wisely, stick together, and above all, keep moving if you want to make it out alive. As well as Monaco 2 on PC from Pocket Watch Games and publisher Humble Games. Get your crew back together for the ultimate heist experience. Return to Monaco, plan your operation, and skedaddle when things go inevitably awry. In this co-op heist game, the city is yours for the taking. On April 10th, we got Blueprints on PC, Xbox, and PlayStation from Dogu Bomb and publisher Raw Fury. Welcome to Mount Holly, where every dawn unveils a new mystery. Navigate through shifting corridors and ever-changing chambers in this genre-defying strategy puzzle adventure. Will your unpredictable path lead you to the rumored Room 46? Apparently, this game is fantastic. It is currently sitting at a 92 on Metacritic.
Ooh.
For reference, Split Fiction's at 91.
Dang.
And I know that a couple of the news gaming things I follow on YouTube, they've been talking about this game a lot. Like Blueprints is apparently really good. It was the one I saw where it's like it's Blueprints, like a Prince of the Kingdom.
Yeah.
And you're using blueprints of a building to solve puzzles, and you're just trying to find this hidden room. And it's apparently really good.
What's it on?
PC, Xbox, and PlayStation, and it might be on PlayStation Plus. I was reading through PlayStation Plus's monthly updates.
Oh, it might be on the monthly thing?
It might be on the monthly update. I don't know if it's a monthly game to own, but it is, of the monthly update, has been added to PlayStation Plus. That might be something to check out later. Crashlands 2 on PC from Butterscotch Shenanigans. Slap your way across a vibrant world where interstellar friendships are... I'm sorry.
What?
It was just my mind just registered that you were going... when I was talking about that game.
Did I really?
Yeah, you went, because I was like, ooh, that's something to check out. And you went,
I didn't even realize I did that. I didn't even know. I was just like, what are you laughing about?
We got Crashlands 2 on PC from Butterscotch Shenanigans. Slap your way across a vibrant world where interstellar friendships are the key to your survival. Befriend eccentric aliens, bizarre craft bizarre weaponry, and stick it to the man in the sequel to the award-winning open-world crafting RPG Crashlands. We also got Hollywood Animal on PC from Weepy Studio and Wholesome, or Weepy. It's Weepy Studio and Weepy Wholesome, so it's Weepy. Make movies even if someone has to die. Take the helm of a major Hollywood studio at the dawn of sound cinema and guide it through decades of creative achievements and glamour, debauchery, and dark deeds. The tough choices and unpleasant compromises.
Is this the one we talked about like a couple weeks ago?
I think there was one called Hollywood Tycoon. This is kind of like that, but it's a lot more. It's a lot more of the nitty gritty of early Hollywood.
I feel like I like that. What's it on?
It is on PC. Every time I let you down.
Every time.
Every time there's a game you're interested in, I'm like PC, and I just see the betrayal in your eyes.
For those of you who cannot see, all of you.
we don't have video yet.
I just gave Stummy the most disapproving and disappointed look. That was also filled with self-hatred towards myself for not having a PC.
Maybe someday.
Someday.
Pocket Bravery made its way to all major consoles a year and a half after PC. Devs from Totoro Studios and publisher P-Cube, inspired by classic fighting games from 90s such as Street Fighter, Fatal Fury, and King of Fighters, Pocket Bravery channels the Neo Geo Pocket aesthetic for a modern fighting game with a retro twist. As well as Promise Mascot Agency on all major platforms from Kaizen Gameworks, explore a cursed Japanese town, recruit mascot friends, and come to the rescue when disaster strikes. Solve the mystery of your exile. Help a living finger work through her many anger issues. Turn Promise Mascot Agency into the best agency in Japan in this open-world narrative adventure. As well as Star Overdrive on Switch from devs Caracal Games and publisher Dear Villagers. Star Overdrive is a high-speed action adventure set in an open world. Race across an alien planet on your hoverboard, mastering tricks, battling enemies, solving puzzles, and using your powers to overcome challenges and shape your destiny. Just pick it up.
Sorry.
The Talos Principle reawakened on PC, PlayStation, and Xbox from devs So I can't. Oh, hold on.
Continue, I'm sorry.
From Dev's Crow team and publisher Devolver Digital, step back into a world of thought-provoking puzzles, philosophical intrigue, and breathtaking visuals with the Talos Principle Reawakened, a first-person puzzle masterpiece for both new players and longtime fans. Willow Guard on PC from MyTale. Willow Guard is a story-driven RPG combining difficult but rewarding action hack-and-slash gameplay enhanced by deck building and layers of deep choice-based story. Play as Gueros, a Willow Guard investigating a series of monster attacks in a remote village close to the northern hinterlands. Discover a handcrafted original fantasy world full of uplifted animals, absent gods, and thousands of years of buried secrets to unfold. And finally, on April 11th, we had Traveler's Refrain on PC from devs Red Essent Games and publisher Indie.io. Wield your magical instrument and defy the mecha goddess of fate in the song-casting, story-driven action RPG. Explore Forbidden Forest as Traveler. Help him reunite with his long-lost love as you fight through abominations and solve mysterious puzzles, all while an ancient conflict unfolds. If there was a lot of just random times where it sounded like I was on the verge of laughing, Jay was trying so hard not to chew into the mic while he was ravaging a Twizzler. This is one of the times where I wish we had video so people could just see Jay losing it, because I don't know how much of this I can keep in.
Because it's going to sound like silence when in reality I'm going hypersonic with my laugh. I'm sorry. I was trying so hard to be quiet. It wasn't that
funny, but it wouldn't have been that funny if he had just like turned to the side and started eating. But there was just something about he was slowly picking it up out of the wrapper, and then like you could every time he moved, he would like look at me, and move and look at me again. And then when I was talking, like, okay, I paused and I was like, okay, just take it. Well, then he like leans way back
and then I push my microphone
and pokes his microphone away and starts eating it. And he realizes, okay, that's not going to work. So he like bends over, and I just see out of the corner of my eye, just like
half a Twizzler.
like a dog, like when a horse lips a carrot.
I'm crying. Oh, I'm crying.
Oh, this is. I think
it's coming to Pop-Up's Bear Ranch.
the Twizzler incident.
Listen, you did the Kit Kats last fall.
Say the Kit Kat. Okay.
Okay. I thought I had more time, and then you said finally, and I'm like, oh no, I got a big chunk.
I didn't have a lot of releases this week.
Oh, okay. My first batch of miscellaneous. In posters, we got a new poster for Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning, It, Welcome to Derry, Predator, Killer of Killers, Eddington, and for the second episode in a row, Hurry Up Tomorrow. We got some character posters for that. In terms of trailers, we got the trailer for The Phoenician Scheme for the second episode in a row, releasing May 30th in theaters. Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning for the second episode in a row, releasing May 23rd in theaters. Havoc, releasing April 25th on Netflix. Predator, Killer of Killers, releasing June 6th on Hulu. Love, Death, and Robots Season 4, releasing May 15th on Netflix. What? Did you just think about it again?
No, kind of. I almost went, oh, hey, I should turn the TV on. And I'm like, wait, I don't have my TV to mute. So it just says Jay saying news. In the background, you just hear, bada week. Just start playing Mario Brothers. Anyway. Sorry.
With the sound on.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Final Destination Bloodlines for a second episode in a row, releasing May 16th in theaters. Marshmallow, releasing April 11th in theaters. Murderbot, releasing May 16th on Apple TV+. Stick, releasing June 4th on Apple TV+. And Nautilus, releasing June 29th on AMC. In terms of release dates, The Angry Birds Movie 3, releasing on January 29th, 2027. Paramount will distribute the film after Sony distributed the first two. Andor Star Wars Story Season 2 for the second episode in a row. We got a full release schedule revealed. Episodes 1 through 3 will drop on April 22nd, with 4 through 6 dropping on April 29th, 7 through 9 releasing May 6th, and the final 3 episodes 10 through 12, releasing on May 13th. The Pit Season 2 will premiere in January 2026. It'll be set during the 4th of July weekend, and Max plans to release a new season every year. And in Cannes Film Festival and Cannes Film Festival in 2025. Major films premiering were revealed. Splitsville, Eleanor the Great, Pillion, Sentimental Value, The Mastermind, Nouvelle Vogue, The History of Sound, Alpha, Eddington, The Phoenician Scheme, Romeria, Urchin, The Wave, Vi Privy, A Simple Accident, My Father's Shadow, The Secret Agent, Bono, Stories of Surrender, Once Upon a Time in Gaza, and Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning. In casting, in the Angry Birds movie 3, Jason Sudeikis, Danny McBride, Rachel Bloom, and Josh Gad will all return and will be joined this time by Emma Myers, Kiki Palmer, Tim Robinson, Lily James, Marcela Hernandez, Walker Scobell, Sam Richardson, Anna Cathcart, Maitril Ramakrishnan, and Nikki Glazer. Karashi, Takahiro Hira has been cast alongside Cynthia Erivo and TOU. Robert Pattinson is being eyed to star as the villain Skytail in Dune Messiah. A Minecraft movie for the second episode in a row revealed Matt Berry was originally going to play Steve, but couldn't due to scheduling conflicts after the strikes. Summer H. Howells and talks to stars as the lead in Max Flanagan's Carrie TV series. Alicia Debnam Carey has been cast on the Godzilla x Kong sequel. The Hunger Games Sunrise on the Reaping for the second episode in a row is eyeing Elle Fanning to star as Effie Trinket. Pride and Prejudice, the Netflix limited series, has cast Emma Corrin, Jack Lowden, and Olivia Colman as Elizabeth, Darcy, and Mrs. Bennet, respectively. May Kalamawe has been cast in Lee Cronin's The Mummy on its second episode in a row. And The Simpsons, Mo Collins has been cast as a new voice of Jimbo following the retirement of Pamela Hayden, which we reported on, I think, last year.
Yes. I wonder if they've recast Millhouse?
Those of you who don't know her, she's known for playing Joan Calamezzo on Parks and Rec. That's the only reason I knew her. And that is all of my first batch of miscellaneous.
Got my gaming news. Nintendo has delayed Canadian pre-orders of Switch 2. They were somehow affected by the U.S. tariffs. My only guess, based on some speculation I saw, me kind of piecing my own research together, is the Switch 2s that were sent to North America were probably sent to wherever Nintendo of America's
what is that,
headquarters is in Washington.
Washington.
And so they probably there's probably a warehouse or something here in the United States that has all of them. So when they're sent to Canada, even though they are Canadian purchases, they're for Canadian purposes.
They're come through.
There still might be some kind of tariff. That's just a truck going to and from with goods of that kind. That'd be my only guess. That doesn't make too much sense, but that's the only thing I can think of and why they would even rope the poor Canadians into our
drama,
our problem with not getting it. And then Nintendo also clarified that the Switch 2 edition of Breath of the Wild, if bought brand new as a Switch 2 version of the game, will include the Switch 2 upgrade on the cart, so it won't be an extra download. You won't be getting the Switch 1 game and a download card. You'll be getting a Switch 2 game that's a better version of Breath of the Wild for $70 instead of $60 because you're paying for that upgrade.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, it will not include the DLC expansion pass for this 8-year-old game. You will still have to purchase that separately, meaning if you want all the DLC and everything when you buy the game, it would be a $90 purchase. Trey and I were talking about that. He's like, what is Nintendo doing? I'm like, I don't know. Everything else has been right. The price is okay. The release is great. The console looks perfect. The games are awesome. But this gaming price thing, this pricing that's going on with the games is just getting to the point where I can't even play devil's advocate with it anymore.
Yeah.
That is ridiculous. I get if I still bought the Switch 1 version and I didn't have DLC, I get that. But the Switch 2 version should be a deluxe edition.
For an
8-year-old game,
yeah.
It should be a deluxe edition.
Absolutely.
Tears of the Kingdom has no DLC. It already being it's going to be an $80 game if you want the Switch 2 version. And if you don't have if you have the Nintendo Switch Online and you already own Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom, then the upgrade will be quote unquote free because you already have the subscription.
Yeah.
Anyway, so that was clarified a little bit, and then they also had a clarification that the reason prices are so egregious is because of a lot of different factors, but that a lot of it has to come down to how much the game costs to make and how much time and value that they as a company see in the game. So if a game is cheaper, that means it costs less to make and there's not much play time. But if a game is more expensive, that's because they go, oh, we packed a lot of play time into this. So apparently Mario Kart World is $80, not $70 like most other games are going to be, is because it has been marked as a Nintendo Premium game of this has a lot of content in it. So That makes sense, I guess.
Are they essentially saying it's like the best game that they've ever made?
They're saying this is not the best, but the biggest. Like, this is has some of the bigger the content, the more expensive a game is going to be.
Okay.
70 is probably going to be the average. I don't see Nintendo ever going below 70.
Which 70 is normal for like PlayStation, I feel like.
Which, like, if they had just announced everything was 70, I think people would grumble, but it would be fine.
Yeah.
It's the $80, the $90 that this is just a big issue. But that was their corporate speak explanation.
Yeah.
There was another guy that's a spokesperson for Nintendo that wasn't, because Doug Bowser made that explanation, and I summarized it. I probably summarized it terribly, but from what I could tell, they're just saying, hey, we're going with a variable pricing, which is how games used to be before games were all just 60.
Yeah.
And then you'd get your like indie games that were maybe 15. There was a time where games was this one's 20, this one's 80, this one's 70. Like it was, Nintendo is going back to that approach with gaming, and I could see that as a kind of a way to try to keep up with the economy better than trying to keep everything at $60 when games are getting more expensive. Of them just being like, hey, look, you're just gonna have to pay more for games sometimes.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I buy deluxe versions of games all the time, so it's not much of a difference. It's just if the game is 80 by itself and the deluxe edition is even more than that, then it's not even. I'm gonna laugh at you.
Yeah.
But that is as much as I can play devil's advocate of. I already make those kind of purchases. It sucks that I have to. But also variable pricing. If Nintendo does it like they say, like they make it sound like they're going to, hopefully a lot of the games are going to end up being cheaper because they're not always making Mario Karts, Legend of Zeldas. It's usually like, oh, here's a couple of those and the rest are Mario Party and Kirby and, things like that. Hopefully I'm trying to see the good in it because I'm so tired of seeing the bad in it.
Yeah.
But
for your own sake.
But yeah, and they also clarified that the demo that showcases the Switch, it is a $10 game. We already knew it was a paid purchase to have basically what would be the Astrobot of Switch 2, which not as much of a game because this looks more like a bunch of mini games to explain how the Switch works.
Yeah.
Astrobot was a full-on game.
Yeah.
It's $10. I don't know why I have to pay for it, but at least it's 10.
No.
And it's not like remember 1-2 Switch? Yeah, that was a $60 game. That didn't come, so at least it's not that. I was worried it was going to be that.
Yeah.
In good Nintendo news, Streets of Rage, Super Thunderblade, and eSWAT City Under Siege were added to the Sega Genesis app for the Nintendo Switch Online membership on April 10th. And then Anomaly horror game Captured 2 was announced. Escape an endless hallway by taking pictures of anomalies. Upcoming dark fantasy survival RPG Ember and Blade was announced for PC in 2025. Ikuma the Frozen Compass was announced for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC in 2026. Deep Rock Galactic Survivor 1.0 releases September 17th on PC. 3D action platformer Dusk Fade was announced for PC, Xbox, and PS5 for a 2026 release. Embark on an unforgettable adventure as Zirian, a young workshop apprentice, as he sets out to restore time itself in a world enshrouded by eternal night. Shatter the shackles of time as you jump, swing, and slash through a vibrant clock punk world, bending nostalgia with a modern gameplay and timeless love letters to action platformer classics. A first-person shooter survival game called Frost Trail was announced, enters early access on PC in 2026. A 5v5 soccer/football game. Rematch releases June 19th on Xbox, PS5, and PC. Action roguelite Morbid Metal enters early access this summer. Moonlighter 2 The Endless Vault will enter early access this summer on PC, Game Pass, Xbox, and PlayStation 5. Heroes of Might and Magic Olden Era releases in early access summer 2025. Red from Angry Birds has been added as a playable character to Super Monkey Ball Banana Rumble as paid DLC. A 3D action battle royale Sonic game, Sonic Rumble, launches May 8th on mobile phones and PC. Sabrina Carpenter was added to Fortnite. Jackbox Games has announced Party Pack 11 will release later this year with 5 new games.
Isn't Trivia Murder Party 3?
Trivia Murder Party 3 was also announced as a standalone title, set for early access on PC this fall and a full release on consoles in early 2026.
My bad. I did not mean to ruin what you news.
Beat-driven survival game Devil Jam was announced for PC and console releasing later this year. Sonic X Shadow Generations is getting a re-release on Switch 2, so it has a Switch 1 version. It's getting a new Switch 2 version because the Switch 1 version didn't run the best. So that's cool. Xbox announced their summer showcase and Outer Wilds 2 showcase for June 8th, 2025. That's, I think, around the time that IGN's summer showcase is happening. So they're kind of lining it up. I can't remember when Summer Games Fest is. I don't know if IGN's lining that up with Summer. They usually all line up together, so there can be something that feels like E3.
Yeah.
But I think early June was when it was last year, wasn't it?
I think so, because it was around the time that Odyssey, wasn't it? And that was middle June.
Yeah, that's when we had it was Odyssey 1 week.
Yeah.
And then the game shows the next or the week before or something like that.
And I know Odyssey was like middle June. Yeah. So that's what I was doing.
June is going to be a busy month. Open world voxel RPG Tomo Endless Blue was announced for PC. Isometric survival shooter Dino Path Trail releases May 9th on PC. Adventure Time characters Finn, Jake, Bubblegum Princess, and Marceline will be coming to Fortnite. Date Everything releases June 17th on PC and consoles.
Yes.
And that is my news. That is my gaming news for this week.
Nice. I have my last batch of miscellaneous, and New Looks got a trailer for upcoming HBO Max shows, including New Looks at Task Season 1, Hacks Season 4, The Righteous Gemstones Season 4, Celtic City Season 1, Conan O'Brien Must Go Season 2, Pee-wee as himself, The Rehearsal Season 2 for the second episode in a row, The Chair Company, The Last of Us Season 2 for the fifth episode in a row, Welcome to Derry, The Untitled Rachel Sennett Project, and Just Like That Season 3, Mountainhead for the second episode in a row, 100 Foot Wave Season 3, The Gilded Age Season 3, Duster Season 1, and Billy Joel and So It Goes. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning for the second episode in a row. We got a first look at Trammell Tillman. We got a new look at Amateur. New look at Jared Leto and Tron Ares for the second episode in a row. New look at Final Destination Bloodlines for the second episode in a row. New look at The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega and Hurry Up Tomorrow. First clip of The Last of Us Season 2. First clip of the USS Callister episode from Black Mirror Season 7. First clip of Rick and Morty Season 8. New look at Scarlett Johansson and Rupert Friend in Jurassic World Rebirth for the second episode in a row. New look at Karate Kid Legends for the second episode in a row. Apple TV released their summer slate trailer, including new looks at Murderbot for the second episode in a row, The Studio, second episode in a row, Echo Valley, Chief of War, second episode in a row, Fountain of Youth, second episode in a row, Slow Horses Season 5, The Morning Show Season 4, Your Friends and Neighbors, Stick, and Platonic Season 2. For the fourth episode in a row, Lilo and Stitch gave us our new look at Stitch. A new clip was released of the Chicken Jockey fight scene in the Minecraft movie for the second episode in a row. New clip from Until Dawn. New look at Michael B. Jordan in Sinners. New look at Peter Dinklage as Toxie in The Toxic Avenger. A new behind-the-scenes look at Dwayne Johnson as Mark Kerr and The Smashing Machine for the second episode in a row. And 28 years later for the second episode gave us a new look. In terms of first looks, we're going to first look at The Phoenician Scheme for the second episode in a row. First look at Predator, Killer of Killers. It follows 3 anthology stories of the Predator fighting Vikings, samurai, and World War II pilots. It's directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who directed Prey. I Know What You Did Last Summer for the second episode in a row. We got our first look at Jennifer Love Hewitt and Freddie Prinze Jr. returning, as well as our first look at Chase Sui Wonders, Madeline Klein, Jonah Howard King, Sarah Pigeon, and Tyreek Withers. First look at Pedro Pascal and Joaquin Phoenix in Ariage's new film Eddington, also starring Austin Butler and Emma Stone, follows a couple stranded in a New Mexico town. First look at Dakota Johnson, Aja Arjona, Kyle Marvin, and David Castaneda in Splitsville. Follows a couple on the rocks who decide to go into an open marriage that soon throws everything into chaos. First look at Sentimental Value, starring Renee Rensfe, Inga Ibsdottir Lilius, Stellan Skarsgård, Elle Fanning, and Corey Michael Smith. Follows sisters mourning the loss of their mother when their father randomly reappears. First look at Julia Ducournau's new film Alpha, starring Golshifteh Farahani, Tahir Rahim, Emma Mackey, and Finnegan Oldfield, follows a young girl in a fictional 1980 city who must confront mortality and loss for the first time. First look at Secret Agent, Kleber Mendonca's Filho's new film, starring Wagner Moura, Udo Kier, Gabriel Leone, and Maria Fernanda Canedo, follows a teacher fleeing from his mysterious past in 1977 during the final years of the military dictatorship in Brazil. And we got our first look at Spike Lee's remake of High and Low, starring Denzel Washington, Jeffrey Wright, A$AP Rocky, and Ice Spice. I apologize if I butchered any of those names. And box office, a Minecraft movie for the second episode in a row is making absolute bank in the box office, obviously, as we figured figured it would.
Yeah.
Opened with $301 million worldwide, which is the biggest domestic opening weekend ever for a video game movie, with $163 million on a $150 million budget. Had the fourth biggest opening ever for a PG movie, which is higher than Inside Out 2, which went on to earn $1.7 billion. It beat Barbie to become Warner Brothers' third biggest domestic debut of all time. It passed $400 million worldwide as of today and is now tracking to only drop 48 to 55% in the second domestic opening weekend, which most drop like 60 to 70. Lilo and Stitch, for the fourth episode in a row, is already tracking to open over $100 million domestically. And The King of Kings earns a rare A+ in Cinema Score, which is only 128 films have gotten an A+ rating since Cinema Score was founded in 1979.
Oh, wow.
So apparently it's really good. In Glen Powell news, for the fourth episode in a row, Edgar Wright sent Stephen King a link to watch Hitman to convince him that Glen Powell is the right guy to lead The Running Man. He said, quote, "I sent it and said, watch this," and he loved it. Thanks, Hitman. Jenna Ortega confirmed she will star in J.J. Abrams' new sci-fi film alongside him, Samuel L. Jackson, Emma Mackey, and Hawk Tuah Girl has been cast as Hawk Tuah Girl and Chad Powers. I thought we were done with her.
I thought she was like, I thought she changed her name and fled the country
exactly
with that rug pull.
No, this might have been filmed beforehand.
Oh, okay.
But because it's coming out this year. A new teaser was released for How to Train Your Dragon on its fifth episode in a row. And in new announcements, Jessica Roth and Christopher Landon have revealed that Happy Death Day 3 is now moving forward. A Hershey's Chocolate movie is in the works, starring Alexandra Daddario and Finn Wittrock, and directed by Mark Waters, who helmed the original Mean Girls, which... What?
So... no,
it's got to be a Milton Hershey biopic.
Is it a Milton Hershey biopic?
I said it's got to be.
Or is it another Flamin' Hot?
Oh, my goodness.
Do we got another Flamin' Hot situation on our hands?
What if it's Flamin' Hot?
Dude,
Talks about a Minecraft movie sequel are already happening, of course.
Yeah.
A live-action Magic the Gathering movie will be directed by Blackberry director Matt Johnson. The film is intended to be the start of a live-action cinematic universe for the franchise. A British version of Saturday Night Live will premiere in 2026, with Lorne Michaels executive producing. Mike Flanagan's Carrie TV series has been greenlit at Amazon Prime Video. It will be 8 episodes long and begin filming this summer. Warner Brothers confirms they are developing new Gremlins and the Goonies movies. A remake of The Bodyguard is in the works of Warner Brothers. Beetlejuice 3 is in the works. And Warner Brothers also confirms that Drew Goddard is developing a new Matrix movie. He has previously written Daredevil, The Martian, and The Cabin in the Woods.
Where were all these announcements 2 weeks ago?
Exactly. Why? I was like typing these last night, and I'm like, that's 4 in a row.
I feel like these should have been announced at CinemaCon.
Yeah. Just 3 things on miscellaneous mentionables. 4 things, actually. Michael Saronsky, who directed Quiet Place Day 1 and Pig, is set to direct the live-action Death Stranding movie for A24, and Hideo Kojima, with Ari Aster and Lars Knudsen directing. Hans Zimmer reflects on his Interstellar score, saying, quote, "It's one of the few movies where I'm going, actually I did okay." Hans Zimmer, my guy.
Dude, it's just an artist thing.
It is. Yeah. I'm kind of that way with it. Megan will be re-released in theaters for one night with Movie Mate technology. This will allow moviegoers to second screen with a Megan chatbot on Instagram during the film to access exclusive content, trivia, and BTS info in real time. Please don't let this lead to using more cell phones in theaters.
I was just kind of worried about if they did the same thing with Soulmate.
Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Me chatting to my AI girlfriend while I go see a movie about an AI girlfriend.
It's the same AI girlfriend. You're like, the Oscars will finally introduce the Best Stunt Design category beginning in 2027 for the 100th Oscars.
Makes sense. They already have things organized for 2026, so...
Yeah. That is all of my miscellaneous news. Now for the returns.
There's some anniversaries. April 6th, we have the 35th anniversary of Crybaby and the 35th anniversary of Ernest Goes to Jail.
Oh, yes.
And the 35th anniversary of Ninja Gaiden 2, The Sword of Chaos on NES.
Nice.
April 7th, of course, was the 30th anniversary of a Goofy movie, as well as the 86th anniversary of Wuthering Heights and the 36th anniversary of Major League.
Nice.
April 8th was the 20th anniversary of Fever Pitch. April 9th was the 10th anniversary of Netflix's Daredevil.
Yes.
The 15th anniversary of Date Night and the 49th anniversary of Family Plot, as well as the 10th anniversary, as well as April 10th being the 5th anniversary of Final Fantasy VII Remake on PS4.
Oh, wow.
Wild that game's already 5 years old.
Yeah.
April 11th is the 73rd anniversary of Singin' in the Rain. April 12th is the 30th anniversary of The Pebble and the Penguin and the 40th anniversary of Desperately Seeking Susan. Yeah.
I have birthdays. Sunday, April 6th, Michael Rooker, frequent James Gunn collaborator in the MCU's Yondu, turned 70. Paul Rudd, immortal Anchorman star and the MCU's Scott Lang, turned 56 or 27 or 35. He's immortal. That's the joke.
Yeah, I got it, Jay.
Just wait. John Ratzenberger, Frank Welker of the Pixar movies, turned 79.
Okay.
Oh, you'll let me have that one? I was hoping that'd be a non-market slide past you. I said just wait, thinking that was like 4 away, and no, it's right after that. Monday, April 7th, Jackie Chan, Karate Kid, Rush Hour star, and iconic martial artist, turned 71. Russell Crowe, Gladiator, The Nice Guys, and The Beautiful Mind actor, turned 61. And that's wild to me to think that Jackie Chan is 10 years older than Russell Crowe. Tuesday, April 8th, John Schneider, The Dukes of Hazzard and Smallville actor, turned 65. Wednesday, April 9th, Kristen Stewart, Twilight, Spencer, and Love Lies Bleeding actress, turned 35. Elle Fanning, We Bought a Zoo, The Great and Maleficent actress, turned 27. And Dennis Quaid, The Parent Trap, Yours, Mine, and Ours, and The Day After Tomorrow actor, turned 71. Thursday, April 10th, Mandy Moore, This Is Us, Tangled, and A Walk to Remember actress, turned 41. David Harbour, Stranger Things and Violent Night actor and the MCU's Red Guardian, turned 50. Daisy Ridley, Chaos Walking actress and Rey from Star Wars, turned 33. And Charlie Hunnam, Sons of Anarchy, The Gentleman, and the King Arthur Legend of the Sword actor, turned 45. Friday, April 11th, Millie Alcock, House of the Dragons actress and DCU's Supergirl, turned 25. And Saturday, April 12th, Ed O'Neill, Married with Children, Modern Family, and Finding Dory star, turned 79. Saoirse Ronan, Lady Bird, Little Women, and The Outrun star, turned 31. And David Letterman, legendary The Late Show host and comedian, turned 78.
In anime news, we got Star Blazers Space Battleship Yamato 3199 Chapter 4 releases October 10th in Japan. Devil May Cry anime is receiving a second season. An anime adaptation of Kana Akatsuki and Suo's light novel series Agents of the Four Seasons, Dance of Spring, has been announced. Winter was once the only season in the world, but such an existence was too lonely to bear, and so it created spring to love. Before long, the earth wished for more time to rest in the cycle, and summer and autumn were born. The ones who carry the cycle are called the Agents of the Four Seasons. Hinagaiku, the agent of spring, disappeared from this land 10 years ago, taking the season of spring with her. Now, after incredible hardship, she has returned to restore the cycle to its proper state, and, as in myth passed down since the dawn of time, she sends her love to winter. To the 2 Year Eternity Season 3 premieres this October. A Gentle Noble's Vacation recommendation premieres January 2026. When Lysel mysteriously finds himself in a city that bears odd similarities to his own town but clearly isn't, he quickly comes to terms with the unlikely truth. He is in an entirely different world. Even so, laid-back Lysel isn't the type to panic. He immediately sets out to learn more about this strange place, and to help him do so, hires a seasoned adventurer named Gil as his tour guide and protector. Until he's able to find his way home, Lysel figures this is the perfect opportunity to explore a new way of life, adventuring as part of a guild. After all, he's sure he'll go home eventually. Might as well enjoy the otherworldly vacation for now. He's going to end up either getting home and missing the old world, or just being like, I guess it's fine if I don't go home.
Exactly.
A new anime in the My Happy Marriage series has been announced. Keigo Higashino's novel, The Keeper of the Camphor Tree, is receiving an anime adaptation in 2026. Too Many Losing Heroines is finally receiving a second season. And A Couple of Cuckoos Season 2 premieres July 2025. And I have one comics news. Marvel has announced a Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe 5-part miniseries.
I wonder if those covers are leading up to that.
That's probably what it was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
In my comics news, DC, we got a couple. Peacemaker Season 2 for the second episode will premiere on August 21st on Max. We also got a new teaser for it. Superman for the second episode in a row. We got a first look at behind the scenes Superman and Lex Luthor together. Marvel, Daredevil Born Again for the 8th episode in a row had its 8th episode release. Fantastic. I loved it. I told you it's a step up.
It brought it back up to a 9.5.
Yeah, 9.5. The Fantastic Four First Steps for the second episode in a row is described as a 60s space race movie shot with miniatures, practical sets, and vintage lenses, saying, quote, I really wanted it to feel like it was made in 1965 the way Stanley Kubrick would have made it within reason, end quote, which I love. I honestly love that. We got a new teaser, new look at the team, and Galactus was. They said Galactus was created using more than just motion capture. Quote, we've built an entire costume for him, and we've done a lot of photography testing to figure that out.
Cut to a picture of the actor with a giant foam Galactus on his head.
That's exactly what it is. Thunderbolts for the 5th episode in a row. A new look at this Century / The Void. New posters, including the Fandango and Dolby. First popcorn bucket revealed in the first clip. Captain America: Brave New World for the 2nd episode in a row. We got a new behind-the-scenes look at Harrison Ford, and it releases on digital on April 15th, just 2 months after its theatrical release. We got our first HD look at Mahershala Ali Blade as Moon Knight from the end of What If Season 3. The character will appear in Marvel Zombies. We're getting that before we're ever going to get the live-action movie. And then Marvel released an 8.5-hour video of Hugh Jackman's Wolverine breathing, only interrupted by him striking a comic-accurate pose halfway through. I love that.
Wonder if that was supposed to be released on April Fool's Day and they just forgot.
Probably was, and they're like, well, we're just releasing
They're probably going to be like Wolverine compilation, all Wolverine movies.
Exactly.
Uploaded to Marvel, and it was just
him breathing with a random...
Or Deadpool and Wolverine director's cut. 8 hours, holy moly. Oh, it's just like, I don't know. It feels like something got mistimed.
Yeah. And in celebrity deaths this week, we got Colin Fox, was 86, Narewolf mystery star and voice actor known for Care Bears, X-Men the Animated Series, and The Legend of Zelda. Got Jay North, was 73, titular star of Dennis the Menace. Clem Burke was 70, drummer and heartbeat of Blondie. Michael Haley was 67, star of MTV superhero show The Mac. Ruby Perez was 69, a merengue singer, dies after a roof collapses at his Dominican Republic venue. Martin Levy was 96, DreamWorks and Amblin publisher for Taxi Driver and Saving Private Ryan. Alice Tan Ridley was 72, America's Got Talent seeker and mother of Gabori Sidibe. Joey D. Vieira was 80, Ferris Bueller's Day Off and Red Heat actor. Mel Novak was 90, Game of Death and An Eye for an Eye actor. William Finn was 73, composer and lyricist for Falsettos, Little Miss Sunshine musical, and the Brave Little Toaster sequels. Nino Tempo was 90, child actor and musician and voice actor for multiple Garfield specials in the 80s. And Nicky Katt was 54, Boston Public actor and a typecast villain. My sources this week were Deadline, Movie Insider, Empire, at Hunter B Video, Fandango, Empire, Collider, The Cut, People, Variety, Guy with a Movie Camera on TikTok, Puck, TMZ, Nexus Point News, Entertainment Weekly, and of course Discussing Film.
I want to thank my sources, Discussing Film, IGN, Crunchyroll, and the official sites and socials of the studios mentioned today, and the projects mentioned today, of course. No tier list this week because we only really have a couple more episodes this month.
We got a busy month ahead of us.
We have a busy month ahead of us.
We really have, I think, 2 episodes left in the month. Really,
yeah, with this episode and the next episode, I think. Yeah. And then we'll have to take another break, and then we'll be back in May and most of June, and then we'll have to take another break in June. Hopefully, by the time that break happens in June, a lot of the there's only going to be 1 or 2 big things that might be delayed, or a substitute might be in for one of us that will be gone in June. So we're going to see what our options are.
Yeah.
But in lieu of that,
for at least this month, we're going to have, you probably seen some on TikTok, some drafts. We're going to try some drafts. Those of you who don't know, this is where one of us, whoever goes first, you get to draft 5 things in a category, and the next person does not get to choose that option, and then you just pick which one has the best draft of those 5.
So we are going to flip a coin here.
Who goes first? You want to pick?
I'll say tails.
Tails?
So
all right.
if it's tails, I win. Heads,
I get to go first.
Jay gets to go first. So I'm gonna tap it here so Jay can also see that I'm not.
You just Google tails. Heads.
So Jay gets to go first.
I get to go first.
Gotta start it.
Our category is Lego games. My first one is Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga.
That's one of mine.
One of your top 5?
Yep. So I'm just going to take that out now.
All right. I've added mine to the list.
All right. So my first pick is Lego Dimensions.
Dang it. That was my number 2. No!
I figured that was going to be on there. Everything else I get is going to be a toss-up.
Yeah, same. All right. Then you get your second one.
No, wouldn't you pick a second one? I just picked my first. Oh.
Because you get it, so it's like snakes.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then my second one is Lego Star Wars: The Skywalker Saga.
Okay. I don't have that on my list. I started it with Neil, and then I didn't finish it. My second one is going to be Lego City Undercover.
That was on my backups list, so I'm not too...
All right, and then my third one is going to be Lego DC Supervillains.
That was also my third one.
No!
So as my third one, I'll go with Lego Batman 1, like the first Lego Batman.
That is my fifth one.
Okay.
And that was your
my third. So I say my fourth one.
Yep.
Lego Marvel Superheroes.
Oh, that was in my backup.
That was in your backup? Okay.
Because my next one is Lego Marvel Superheroes 2. And then my fifth one is going to be Lego Jurassic World.
All right. My fifth one is Lego Incredibles.
What your fourth one?
Oh, my fourth one.
Wait, no, you already said your fourth one.
Yeah, sorry, said my
But
fourth
there's
one.
Lego Incredibles.
And so my fifth one is Lego Incredibles.
My last two backups, because I've been deleting as I go, were Lego Batman 2 and then Lego Harry Potter, specifically year 1 through 4.
I had Lego Pirates of the Caribbean, Lego Island 2, and I think those are the only two I remember. Other two I remember because I just deleted them. You said two of mine that were on my list.
You know what I almost included?
What?
Galador.
Galador?
Did you ever play that?
Mm-mm.
It's like a game I got at a book fair.
Huh.
It's actually pretty good.
That's all I need to know.
Yeah, Lego Galador. I wanted to go Lego Racers 2, but then what I looked at was not what I had played before, so I don't know if I was
You
playing.
probably played Lego Racer. Either there was a Lego Forza game or something. There was a modern Lego racing game. Then there was a Lego Racers game on like the PlayStation where you built the carts and.
It was one where like you go around all these worlds. It was like, or I played it on like the disc at the computer game.
Probably Lego Racers 1.
Lego Racers 1. That is my other draft. Do we know who won? Who do we think won?
Who do we think won?
Because you have Dimensions, and I feel like that pulls a lot of weight.
Yeah, so I have Dimensions, the Skywalker Saga, which is the complete saga, but with 3 extra movies.
Yeah.
But also the
And
most experimental one.
Yeah.
I have the original Lego Batman. I have Marvel Superheroes. And then I have Lego Incredibles. So I'm like, my big ups are probably Dimensions, Skywalker Saga, and Lego Batman.
Yeah.
And Marvel Superheroes is pretty good, and then
Yeah.
Incredibles is...
I got, of course, the complete saga, and then Undercover, which I feel is very underrated.
Oh, it absolutely
Lego
is.
City Undercover is very underrated.
I look, it shouldn't have been a Wii U exclusive. It shouldn't have taken so long to get to other consoles.
I got it on the 3DS.
There was a 3DS version.
Oh, that's the one I played.
The main Lego City Undercover is basically Grand Theft Auto, but you're a policeman.
Ooh.
So you have this open world Lego city where
Yeah.
you can just destroy stuff. You can commandeer like police business. And you just take
Chase
your car
McCain.
and you just keep going. You could just run into stuff.
Yeah.
The Nintendo Switch and Wii U versions have exclusive Nintendo builds around the world to build, and you get.
That sounds so fun.
You unlock. He goes undercover a lot, so you get different abilities. So you don't play as other characters. You're just Chase McCain and undercover, so you get other abilities by being undercover. There's a level that's a parody of Shawshank Redemption.
Mm-hmm.
There's a level that's a parody of Starsky and Hutch and like all like the
Or
martial
like police,
arts cop.
yeah.
It is a funny game.
It is so
It is a
good.
legitimately
It is
funny
so
game.
good.
But I think the 3DS one is a prequel
Okay.
to the console.
So I
one.
might not actually have Lego City Undercover. I'm going to have Lego City Undercover something. Whatever it is.
But yeah,
But I also got DC Supervillains, which I feel like is a big...
that one's a big
up.
one. Yeah.
And then Marvel Superheroes 2 and then Jurassic World. If we
It
had,
is
if we
really
had
is
more
a
followers,
toss-up.
I'd be like, throw it to
Yeah,
social media.
throw it to social media to see who.
Let us know who won.
Yeah, the few of you that I have something funny to tell you when we're done.
Okay.
Anyway, so yeah, I don't know who won. I would argue I won, not because I'm biased towards myself, but because
But I
Lego
think Dimensions carries so much.
Dimensions has a lot of fun in it, but it's also dragged down by the amount of like not looking at the screen you have to do, which is
But
kind
also,
of,
like, all the worlds. You basically have,
Yeah.
like, 30-something different games in there.
you have hours of content with that one.
Yeah.
Skywalker Saga is a really, really good game. It's the most experimental, though, so some people, it might not be everyone's cup of tea.
Yeah.
Like, there's just everything where you have, like, your really good ones are Undercover and Lego DC Supervillains, and your other 3 are, like, if I were to do a ranking of Lego games, because we don't do normal tier lists, if we were to do a tier list of Lego Jurassic World is a solid B
Absolutely.
at best, C at worst.
I'd say B because it's, like, fun still.
It's still fun. Some of the dino stuff is a little like wonky.
Yeah.
But then also, when else you're going to get a game based on Jurassic World 3?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Which I honestly, Jurassic World 3 was the most fun levels in my opinion. But also I could tell this is not the best Jurassic World movie.
Yeah.
It just had the most fun levels because it was, yeah.
It's just, yeah. I put Lego Star Wars: The Complete Saga on here for nostalgic reasons.
And then this Complete Saga is also just legitimately one of the best. It's the first.
Yeah.
It's the first two put into one game, so it's the first
Yeah.
game altogether. It is also the best. So yours is pretty.
And you should get like all 6 movies.
Ours is neck and neck.
Yeah.
So who knows?
We'll throw it on the socials.
But mine has Beetlejuice riding the Mystery Machine, and
in the Shire.
yeah. So
that's why I said I feel like Dimensions itself. I feel like this is going to come down to whoever had
Sonic
Dimensions.
the Hedgehog helping the only toy that is officially been given the okay to resemble Tom Cruise.
Exactly. Exactly.
Infiltrate the plot of the Goonies. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I would say you won.
Okay.
Because Dimensions.
One. We also both love Dimensions a lot.
So much.
It was a bonding experience for us way back when.
It was.
I will say, on that note, we will see you all next time. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all those interactive things. Follow the podcast on most social medias at Mondays for Nerds. Follow me, Tristan Stump, on most social medias at Sir Stumpsalot or Sir Stumpsalot17.
Follow me on Twitter at PolaPanda001, on other socials at Kristen Pratt Fan. Getting back into the BBC Earth tweets.
Yep. I saw them.
So, did you see my newest one?
I haven't yet.
Oh wait, no, because I didn't actually post it. Never mind.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll see you all next time.
Goodbye.
Bye.